The season opener for the LA Kings is just 3 days away. This afternoon, one final tune-up. It's the preseason finale, Freeway Face-Off Edition. Beautiful day for hockey in downtown LA. The Kings are back at Crypto.com Arena. Today, they host the Anaheim Ducks. And good afternoon, everyone. Along with Jim Fox, I am John Kelly. Preseason game number 7 for the LA Kings, and head coach Jim Hiller wants to treat this like it's the first regular season game, Jim.
Yeah, he mentioned the word or phrase dress rehearsal about 18 times when we talked to him a while ago, but it's more than a dress rehearsal right now for the Kings. It's more than the last chance to get the Kinks out, because when you take a look at the opening to the regular season, you start here against Colorado, then in Vegas, then on the road, Winnipeg, Minnesota. So, yes, you want to get off to a fast start. Everyone talks about a fast start. But right now for the LA Kings, they have to have their best start because it's against top teams.
Well, speaking of starts, the Kings did not have Drew Doughty last year to start the season. Remember, he played in only 30 regular season games.
Yeah, you know, Drew Doughty, you see the numbers, you look throughout his career, everything he's done for the Kings, the Olympics, Team Canada, all those things, 2 Stanley Cups, but it's not only about being healthy, it's about being in the best condition of his career. He came into camp and he led the Kings in fitness testing for the first time in his career. Surgery last season. About a 70% Drew Doughty last year. Another procedure during the summer, the rehab. Mobility is back. I think that'll help him in 2 different areas specifically. First step, quickness, to open up a lane or find some space on breakouts, and then also taking away time and space. He's got the mobility back. I think last year, Drew had to play more conservative, keep the play on the outside. This year, he can be more aggressive.
Meanwhile, 29-year-old Jeff Malott has had an outstanding preseason, a couple of goals. He really wants to make this team, Jim.
Take advantage of the opportunity. Corey Perry goes down with an injury, but be ready for that opportunity. That's one thing that Jeff Malott has done. Now, we know that he can drop the gloves, he can protect his teammates, he can change a game with momentum. Those are the types of things that are expected, and he's going to bring that, no question. He added some weight in the offseason. He came in exactly the goal weight they set for him, but they want to see a little bit more of this. And I always feel difficult, John, when you talk about, you know, a tough guy, a forechecking guy, a physical guy. How much is he going to produce offensively? He does have a pretty good set of hands when you think about the style of player is. You can't lose the physicality to become a dancer. That doesn't work that way. Malott will not do that. At the same time, they want to see him drive to the net at the right time. Get there, be involved, those types of areas. As I mentioned, you know, you talk about commitment. He was given that opportunity, but he came committed in the offseason. Now he's ready.
Well, Malott could be a busy guy today. It is, as you know, a rivalry game. The Kings and Ducks from Crypto.com Arena. The final preseason tilt is next.
I think the rivalry is really created when you play them enough in the playoffs. Of course, yes, Kings and Ducks have always been, you know, big games. But I think we took that to the next level when it was in the playoffs.
You kind of always have that game circle on your calendar, and it just means a little bit more than other games do, and look at your team differently if you win those games.
They're fun ones to play, and obviously the fans get excited about it. They bring a different level of energy. Don't want to say they carry things over, but you kind of take things from a previous year, previous games, and it bleeds into the next one, so it makes for a little added intensity.
Start to really dislike guys on the other team, and same way back to you, so yeah, just the hatred, I guess, is what makes it so special.
It is preseason game number 7. The Kings hosting their crosstown rivals, the Anaheim Ducks. Along with Jim Fox, I'm John Kelly and our great crew here from FanDuel Sports Network. And the starting goaltenders For the Kings, Darcy Kemper in goal, last year a Vezina Trophy finalist, went 31-11-7 against the 25-year-old Czech-born Lukas Dostal. He takes over the #1 duties in Anaheim with the trade of John Gibson to Detroit.
And that's the first time in a long time. John Gibson would come in, he'd be the guy. Now that, it's almost a distraction that's been let go too from Anaheim, but these games, regular season, preseason, playoff, doesn't matter. These guys want to get the win.
For the Kings, it is Danault, Armia, Fogle against McTavish, Granlund, and Cutter Gauthier. Radko Gudas ahead. Here's McTavish right in front, and that was off Mikey Anderson, and the Kings clear it away. Anderson on defense with Doughty. This is Jackson Lacombe in. He just signed a brand new 8-year deal, $9 million a year. That's a lot of money. As we know, long shot by Lacombe, got through, and kicked away by Kemper. By the way, no Laferriere today for the Kings, so the line's just a bit different, Jim.
Yeah, we'll have to wait to see if there's any announcement, maybe nicked up a little bit, because I'm pretty sure that Jim Heller wanted to go into the last preseason game with the same lineup he would start the regular season with Laferriere out. That would not be the case.
As Clark sends it in, but on his own side of center ice, and that is an icing call.
Chance to take a look at our Hyundai keys for today's game. Structure over skill. Yes, you want to see skill, but again, as a head coach, you want to see your team is ready to play within a system. So I think that's important. And we saw this the other night, John, in Salt Lake City. Quick decisions. I think the Kings were a little slow, at least in the first period, getting to those decisions, and they got caught in their own end a bit.
And the coach said before the game he wants a tighter game than he saw in Utah on Thursday. That is knocked down by Clark. And Kempe comes in, and behind him, and that is offside.
And both teams feel they have way more depth. There's Joel Quenneville, first year of the head coach as coming into Anaheim. Now, depth is something that the Kings feel they're as strong as their top 9, and they are. But Joel Quenneville this year, when you look at Anaheim's lineup, it's much different than the past. Some veterans coming in, free agent signings, those types of things. So they're pretty good up front when you talk about depth too.
Yeah, they have a new coach. We just saw Joel Quenneville adding Kreider, Granlund, Poehling. No more Zegras, no more Gibson. So they have a bit of a different look. Of course, the Ducks have missed the playoffs the last 7 years. Number 16 is Ryan Strome. Dropped off, and a high shot by Zellweger. Smacks off the glass. And a feed by Kopitar. And now Kuzmenko. And ahead, and that is dumped in deep by Brian Dumoulin. Tight checking start to this one. And now Lacombe, the Minnesota native, gets it out. Byfield through the legs of Fiala. Ducks had it. Now they lose it. And now they make a change, and Byfield flies in against Gudas. At the line, Fiala kept it alive. Byfield in front, Fiala the shot, and it got through a tricky one on Dostal. And at the line, Ceci trying to keep it alive. Good work there by Byfield. And now the Ducks come away. Pass across, Poehling shoots it. Maybe a pass more than a shot, and ends up in the corner. And now Malott ahead for Armia. And the Finn fires it wide. At the line, Anderson thought about jumping up. He backs out. Here comes the former Flyer Gauthier. Handled by Doughty. Ducks trying to get a forecheck going. At the line, Drew Hellison. Long shot, tipped just wide, I think by McTavish in front. And it's covered by Kemper.
Well, new players, but also new coaches. When you look around the National Hockey League, Quenneville comes in, of course, with the pedigree and the Stanley Cups. Marco Sturm comes from Ontario within the Kings organization to Boston. Blashill, Blackhawks, Gulletson. So guys that have been around before. Sullivan, Tocchet. Dan Muse, the new guy on the block, rebuilding, I guess, with Pittsburgh. Lane Lambert, he's been around. Adam Foote, all that experience as a player, then an assistant coach, now the head coach of the Vancouver Canucks.
Hard to believe, 9 new coaches. Man, aren't you glad you're a broadcaster and not a coach?
I would say a little bit more security in the broadcaster, just a touch.
Quenneville, by the way, winning 3 cups with Chicago, also was his assistant with Colorado in '96, so he has 4 Stanley Cup rings. And the Ducks get the puck to center. Here's Malott now back for Doughty. And then Turcotte for Hellenius. Looks to center, Malott was there, and just a bit too high. Turcotte scored the only goal the other night. Penalty coming up here. And it looks like a hooking minor.
Yeah, it might have been the drive to the net that drew the penalty. And on entry, again, we're going to use the term fourth line. Hellenius out there with Malott. Turcotte's involved. Again, LaFerriere not in the lineup, so hooking will be the call against McTavish, who had an extended summer because he could not come into agreement with a contract. He's now back in camp, obviously, to end the preseason. Keep it off the... We're going to stop it here, guys. Right there, stick it. Yeah, there it is right there. There's no question. Right in the hands. And that's the reason for you drive to the net, you make something happen.
So the Kings on the power play. Kuzmenko to the captain, Kopitar. Again, 5 forwards for LA. To the middle, Byfield there. Nudges one around. And Kuzmenko for Kempe. The drive, and that goes up high off the glass. Bouncing puck. Grabbed by Lacombe. Hard rim, and that gets out and gets down.
So again, the 5-4. We saw it the other night in Salt Lake where Byfield, as the bumper position guy, that's who you use to take off pressure. A little bit of a miscue, start all over again.
Remember, the Kings had a 5-on-3 for 46 seconds in Utah on Thursday. Could not score. You know they'd love to get some confidence in the power play today. And Kopitar looking for Byfield, broken up. Kuzmenko there. He'll check it back, but it bounces by Fiala at the point. Kings reloading. Good move by Kempe. A Savardian spinorama by Kempe. Now Byfield. Fiala, seam pass. Byfield shoots. He scores! What passing there. A bit of a changeup, but Byfield scores on the power play.
Don, you mentioned the passing. I mean, the spacing was absolutely perfect. Then you turn that spacing into one-touch play. I thought the entries by the Kings were real good throughout this entire. There's the bumper man. Take pressure off to the side. Yeah, and you can see it's a flub, right? It is a missed shot here by Byfield, but Dostal gets going one way, can't stop his momentum going across the crease laterally. But you saw right there how quickly that one touch was. That's the difference with Kuzmenko, right? He doesn't waste any time. He changes the point of attack. Power play works. Kings lead 1-0.
Well, baseball is in the postseason, as we know. Good luck to the Dodgers. So that was a changeup.
Maybe even knuckle change, I'll call it.
Yeah, okay. The old Phil Niekro pitch. So it's 1-0 LA. The goal at 4:47. Now Killorn through the middle. Zellweger knocked off the puck by Hellenius. What a nice assist on the goal by Turcotte on Thursday.
We're going to have to check the puck for some foreign substances after that one.
Okay.
Right the way it changed directions a couple of times.
You never know. Something on the puck there as the Ducks send it in. Kemper plays one for Dumoulin. Looking at center, picked off by the Ducks. Hellison, another Minnesota native. That goes back in. And the offside, Kuzmenko and Fiala get the assist on the power play goal.
Well, we talked about QB in the open, of course, in the pregame show and trying to make it happen. You see the entry. Watch when they get spread out right here. This is what you try to do. You got to stop from here, guys. Look at this. That's all spread out. That's going to force the penalty killers to move around, change positions, and finer, sooner or later, you open up a lane.
So it's 1-0 Los Angeles on the goal by Byfield. Here's Deneau leaving it. Moore centers it in the blue paint. A shot, rebound, kicked away by Dostal as Deneau was there. And now the former Canadian Hailing drops it in. that was something that I know the Kings wanted to do better in Utah on Thursday, is get to the net, and they did that on that last shift. Created a lot of havoc in front of Dostal as they ice the puck here.
And then we go back to drawing the penalty, driving to the net. Entry with speed, Malott on the outside. Someone has to get a stick on him to slow him down. You keep doing that, you keep doing that. And the other thing that does, John, too, of course, it puts the other team on their heels. So they're always kind of in a defensive position instead of a position being ready to attack.
You know, and Byfield was saying the other day, Jim, that he had a slow start to his season last year. Came on, of course, had 23 goals. But a young player like that, as you know, as a former player, it's tough to emerge as a top center in this league. There are so many responsibilities.
And we talk about the defense position, but I would say the center, the responsibility is the #1 word right there. You have to be responsible to your line mates with the puck, but more so with your defenseman without the puck.
And that puck is flipped out of the rink by Leo Carlson. And we get a whistle. 13:24 to go. Well, it wasn't Byfield's hardest shot, but an effective shot. Power play goal, 1-0 Kings.
More than most teams, the Kings have talked about what hand a guy shoots. And we saw by that power play goal with Quinton Byfield. With Kuzmenko in the lineup, the right-hand guy down on the left side there, he has all the play in front of him. He could see Byfield turn around. He could put the puck exactly where Byfield wanted. Again, it was a knuckleball, it was a change-up, but back to the shot mentality. There was no hesitation. Ready to shoot, ends up in the net.
And the face-off to the right of Kemper. And the Ducks win it to the line. Zellweger, that's off the end boards and ripped out by Fiala. Now Armia looking for Byfield, who's from Newmarket, Ontario, but an hour north of Toronto. That's hockey country up there. That's tipped on goal, rebound, and it stays out. And Troy Terry the other way. He'll chase it against Anderson. Anderson and Doughty. And they make the clean play, clean exit. And walked ahead by Byfield. Fiala, what a pass. Doughty right down Broad Street. And a stop, and it goes out of play.
I think that pass may have surprised Drew Doughty. He was ready, he was jumping in, he was the extra man, but the way Fiala was able to get it to him, you see, he didn't stop it, and Drew he kind of got himself in between there. He was going to shoot it, then he was going to pass it. Then he got himself to a position with Armia driving to the net. Just couldn't get it in the wheelhouse, and that was the difference on the play. And finally, Helleson gets a chance to block it over the glass.
Pretty nifty backhand feed by Fiala. From the draw, Kuzmenko in front. That goes wide of Dostal. And the Ducks to center, not very far. Kopitar hits that line. And now Kuzmenko gets some support in there. But McTavish grabs it back for the visitors for hard-hitting Ratko Gudas. That's off a stick, and it sails into the netting in behind Kemper.
We touched on it in the pregame show, John, where the conversation we've had with QB, with Fiala, with LaFerriere, not in the lineup today, but shoot the puck more. Be more selfish. Don't look for the perfect play. You see the shot percentage keeps going up. Keeps going up. He worked on his shot at the beginning of last year. Did not show it until probably halfway through the season. Once it happened, puck went in.
The Ducks have not had a shot on goal since the opening minute of this game. There's one right on. And Trouba's attempt was blocked by Kemper. So they go about 8 minutes without a shot here.
Hey, listen to you, John. You tell them to shoot. They shoot. They get a shot on goal. See what you said.
The old announcer jinx, right, Jim?
Oh.
I don't believe in that, for the record. Maybe you do.
I do not.
Okay, good.
Until it goes the wrong way.
Okay, right. Here's a backhander off the skate of number 77, Frank Vetrano. And that was close. That's off Zellweger. Both clubs making personnel changes. Warren Foegele looking for more. And no icing here. And Deneau on the forecheck. 3 Kings in behind the goal line there. Comes in front, but with 3 guys below the goal line, nobody there in front. And played down the ice by Beckett Seneca. Young winger from Toronto. Played last year in the Ontario League. Now the puck at centered off Trevor Moore. And then Deneau overskates it. Shots 4-2 LA. Leading on a Byfield power play goal. Here's Joel Edmondson. Did not play in the last game. Banged up a bit. Good to see Edmondson back in the Kings lineup today.
And he's out there with Brandt Clarke. Clarke has it right now. That's a normal pairing, I guess, expected pairing.
Now the Ducks coming in and a shot wide by Chris Kreider, the longtime Ranger. He is a big body who can skate and has been a power play magician in his career. Actually, Kreider has more power play goals in Ranger history than any other player with 116. So they will look for him to help the Duck power play this year.
Anaheim was dead last year. 32nd in the NHL in power play percentage. And again, you're right, John. Just by his presence, Kreider's going to make them better.
As Trouba's under a lot of heat from Kempe. Now Kempe with it. Swings it in front because Mako in the area never got the pass. And the Ducks counter up the middle. And Zellweger tried to break through there, but that was broken up. Now Granlund. Good young winger from Finland. Now at the line. Trouba shoots it, and that goes wide glove side. And then Gauthier back of the goal. Stripped to the puck by Kempe.
And time and space by Kempe right there, wasting no time to make contact.
Kings going for a line change. Under 10 to play in the opening period. Zellweger leaves it. Drew Hellison ahead. Ducks play dump and chase. And flipped around by Dumoulin. Off Hellenius. Snared by Petrano, and back in it goes. And a foot race back at the Duck line is won there by Pavel Mityukov, who changed numbers to 98. I guess the reason, Jim, he said he wears or weighs 98 kilos, so that's why he's going with 98.
98?
98 kilos.
2.2.
How did you know that? That is good. You are sharp.
I cannot follow through with the multiplication, but I can say it. I just can't execute.
I am impressed as Deneau keeps it alive for Los Angeles. Here's Edmondson, shoots it, and that was off skates in front. Kaline for the Ducks. And Clarke comes over. Trying to clear it, now grab, Kaline to the line. Shot by Gudas, tipped just wide. And Clarke to center. Here's Foegele leaving it for Deneau. And then Foegele again. Hands it back to Clarke. Edmondson, one-timer. Rebound, they score! Into the top corner, Deneau. And the Kings lead 2-0.
It was the play where the Kings had a counterattack on the rush. And Brandt Clarke was involved. And right here, Clark's going to decide, okay, he's going through the middle, and then he decides to go back. He probably thought he was out of the play, but Foegele ends up getting him the puck. Here's where it starts. Shot, rebound, second attempt. Remember the other night, John, we were talking about second and third attempts right there. It wasn't the first put back by Deneau, it was the second one. So you get the shot, you get the rebound, but an example of how defensemen getting involved in the play with Brandt Clarke just makes the read difference for the defenders. Wide open right there. Kings lead 2-0.
But again, Deneau getting to the blue paint, and he capitalizes, and it's 2-0. The goal at 12:23. Last year, Deneau had 8 goals and 43 points. Now in his 5th year as a King, as Fiala flies in, trying to cut in a low shot. Kicked away by Dostal. And then Fiala trying to go to the line, intercepted by the Denver native Troy Terry. And here he comes.
Whoop.
And some miscommunication there.
Both teams interchange, so it gives everyone a chance to just settle things down.
That's off McTavish. All the way back to the LA goal. Lacombe winds it around. Edmondson and Clark get the assist on that goal. Great start for the Kings in their final tune-up before the opener on Tuesday. Kuzmenko check as he plays it back in, but that is touched by a Duck player, and that is an offside. Byfield in the power play, and now Deneau at 12:23. LA up by 2.
Welcome back. We all know by now that Anze Kopitar is retiring at the end of this season, and his teammate Drew Doughty, he's all in his feels about it. We asked him to reflect on how much Kopitar means to him, and he came to this realization, you guys. The most combined on goals by a forward defenseman duo in NHL history. Check out this list right here on the left-hand side. Kia player profile. Anze Kopitar and Drew Doughty ranked 2nd overall in NHL history, 310 goals. We were talking to him and he said, you know what? Kopi's meant the world to me. When I'm scoring a goal, he's usually assisting. When he's scoring a goal, I'm usually assisting. He might not have those offensive relationships with all players, Drew said, but with him, he specifically does. He credited his success to Anze Kopitar, and without him, he would not be where he is in his career. Guys.
That is some good stuff, Carlin. That is a very impressive list to be on.
Oh, my.
Wow. Here's a long shot from the line by Kempe. What about Larry Robinson and Guy Lafleur? I thought they might be up there.
Up there, yeah.
Right?
Maybe you have Coffey and Gretzky. You have Oren Esposito.
I mean, those are the best of the best.
I'm not even talking about Sid and Letang. It's just, man, back in our day, those are some great names.
Here's a wrist shot off a stick and well wide. Hellenius now for Turcotte. Trying to dangle, and he does for Malott. And then Turcotte again. Handled by Trouba. That's sent around. And snared by Vetrano. He gives it up at center ice. And then Hellenius goes twisting to the ice. That's lobbed down the ice. And now Vetrano, who had 21 goals last year for the Ducks. Worked over by Clark. Now Lacombe gets it and whips a high shot, and that hits the glass. Now Lacombe again. That's off Clark, I believe. And the youngster will just feather it down the ice, and that will be an icing call. Well, it's Anze Kopitar's last opening night. Head to Crypto.com Arena this Tuesday. Opening night presented by Bode Technologies as the Kings battle Nathan MacKinnon and the Avalanche. Visit lakings.com/tickets and get your tickets today. That should be just a great game. The Fan Festival starts at 4 o'clock at LA Live. The anthem was performed by Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden. Opening night is always special in the NHL. Can't wait till Tuesday. 2-0 Kings. Byfield and Deneau, the goal scorers. Here's Seneca. Youngster in the lineup. Kings lose it, and a shot wide by Big Leo Carlson, who had 20 goals last year. And of course, he is the future up front for the Ducks, former second overall pick out of Sweden. Now Gudas, and that bounces on Lacombe, and we'll get a penalty here. I believe Anderson was involved in front with somebody, and it looks like it is on the Anaheim player, Seneca.
Yeah, the forecheck, so offensive zone penalty. Just when it looked like the Ducks kind of had the Kings in trouble a little bit there on the forecheck. The Kings get bailed out by an offensive zone penalty. Kings up by 2. He's the first man on the forecheck. He was talking about details. Well, watch this. Little detail coming up, but coaches talk about it all the time. Sticks in the lanes, right there. He gets a stick, gets a piece, guess what happens? Slows down the puck. Ducks don't get it. The Kings do. Those are the details you keep working on. You want to make sure you excel in that area. And every time you get a tick of that puck, it slows down the other team.
That leads to the goal as Kopitar wins the faceoff. Kempe, Kings on the power play 1-for-1 today. And Kopitar hooks one to the corner for Byfield. For Fiala to Kempe, right in. And a pass when he had a chance to shoot it. And Anaheim escapes that, and now Troy Terry ahead. Carlson comes in and defended well by the forward Fiala.
Now, Fiala used his edge work that time defensively to make sure he was solid and squared to make the play.
And now Kopitar drops it off Fiala. 4 Ducks at the line. Kuzmenko tipped in front. And that was tipped by Fiala, but kept up by Dostal. Ducks send it down. And the veteran Killorn, former Cup winner in Tampa Bay out of Harvard. And now Anaheim killing some time.
With the Kings in 5 forwards, normally they don't get themselves into too much trouble defensively. We saw Fiala responsible. Kempe, he's responsible. So now we have the second unit out there. 2 defensemen with Doughty and Clark.
As Deneau gains the lines, Foegele down the left flank. Midyakov there for the Ducks. Deneau and Armia get it free. And a good pinch by Doughty. Now Deneau sent it back. Armia, Doughty comes in the bumper spot, and Deneau shot blocked. And now Armia again. And Doughty surveys the ice. Armia fires it. Fought off, kept out. Not a bad play by Armia with traffic in front. And then Deneau again. Goal line. Clark in front. They score. Foegele, I believe. And it's 3-0. Not sure if he tipped it or not. Either way, another power play goal, Jim.
John, the Kings took control, right? They had possession of the puck. They had entries. You mentioned Armia's name. He made it happen a couple of times. Now, whether this pass gets through or not, Fogel's on the backside. Hellison, number 14, will try to make sure it doesn't get through. But the Kings had the spacing again. Oh, you know what? Foegele did get it at the end, John. Either he got the puck or he gets the pad of the goaltender. Maybe a little bit of both. You cannot push the pad of the goaltender back, but that was not the case there. Dostal did not have his pad anchored against the post, and he couldn't be strong enough. Hellison did get a piece of it, but it did make its way through. Spacing works for the Kings on the power play. They lead by 3.
And how about that? The power play 2 for 2. And it's 3-0. Foegele had 24 goals last year, played in every game. Here's another chance, and wired wide by Malott. And that goes down the ice.
Another little thing, John, and both units in with a power play. Instead of just one unit taking over, you have a little bit more variety. But I was interested there with Joel Armia. He was almost the point. The Kings had 2 defensemen on that unit. It was Armia that was back at the blue line for most of that power play. That's just the way things work out sometimes. You don't have time to change your positions and move around. There he is right there, quarterbacking the power play.
Clark and Deneau get the assist on the goal. Foegele at 17:42. But again, Jim, you attack the net, and sometimes good things can happen. It's not always a clean, pretty play, is it?
You know, if Hellison doesn't get a stick on it, it's probably a tap-in on the backside for Foegele right there. But it was a good example. Goaltenders try to anchor their pad against the post. And Dostal was not able to do that. And for that reason, there was a little bit of room, enough room for the puck.
Long feed, Foegele comes in and punched away by Dostal. Kept in by Ceci, not for long. And here comes Seneca. Trickles toward Darcy Kuemper, who's had a rather easy first period. 3 rather routine shots on Kuemper. As the clubs make changes. Final minute in the first period. Byfield, Deneau, Foegele have scored for LA. And now Kopitar hands it back. Here's Dumoulin, Kuzmenko to Kempe, and he'll walk in. And that's off a stick. It's off Killorn and back to the neutral zone. And now gobbled up by Kuzmenko. Kopitar around. Kuzmenko trying to get it. Ducks pounce on a loose puck. Killorn to the net. And that may have been their best chance as he puts it wide at Kemper. 10 seconds left, and the puck apparently came out. So back in offside.
Yeah, so the Kings get there. And I know there's a long way to go in this game, but in the back of my mind, I'm going, oh, it's just preseason. You know, how many times in the regular season would you love to have a 3-0 lead after one period? But it doesn't count, but at least we talked about it in our open. I mean, it's a tough start to the season. And you're going to have to be on top of your game. There's going to be no time for the Kings to kind of stroll into this regular season. There's too many good teams at the top.
Yeah, not when you open with Colorado, Vegas, Winnipeg. And that will do it. So a great first period for the Kings with a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, the Kings made it work. They drew some penalties. They made the Ducks pay for those situations. They spread things out on the power play. Both units doing a job, and both of our guys are back. Patrick Jarrett, Hyundai Intermission Report.
Wouldn't want to be any place else than right here. You got
Anaheim again. Keep in mind with Anaheim, and certainly as a rival, you're hoping it might take them a little while, where, you know, they have a new head coach who brings in unbelievable credentials, but there's probably going to be a new system. There's probably going to be a few new tweaks, and, you know, it might take a while before the season gets going here for Anaheim to get where they want to be because of those systems.
So period number 2 is underway. And the Kings come in quickly, but Foegele drops it off to nobody in particular. Now stolen right in front. Danault is robbed by Dostal.
Oh,
what a chance there.
The Kings created that, John. They had pretty good stick position again on the forecheck, but the Ducks have to be stronger with that puck.
Now Doughty's pass. And Danault and Foegele again. And Zellweger steps across. And that's off the stick of Trevor Moore. Kopitar was in the area. Now played down the ice by the Ducks. And that is an icing call.
Yeah, the Kings had the pressure on, and Danault, he's kind of going, how did I miss that? It was ready. He said maybe handcuffed him a little bit. So we see the Ducks right here. Yeah, went to the middle of the ice on the backhand. And that just gets you just about every time. It was Vetrano that time, but there's the good stick position. You know, in all honesty right there, it wasn't that deceptive, and Dostal knew exactly what was going to happen, so he was able to go across without opening up.
And that is gloved ahead and a hand pass. Again, the Kings open the season Tuesday at home against Nathan MacKinnon, Cale Makar, and the Colorado Avalanche. Then it's on to Vegas, and then we are back with you next Saturday from lovely Winnipeg, Manitoba. Good as a shot. That goes wide of Darcy Kemper, who had a rather easy first period, facing only 3 shots. Ducks, by the way, they missed the net 8 different times in that opening period. Now a pass ahead for Kreider. And Gudas trying to go to Carlson. That's picked off. Kuzmenko, nice feed. Kempe comes in, and he wires a shot off the shoulder, I believe, of Dostal, and we know Kempe can really bring it. Now Troy Terry coming in. Here's Lacombe. He can dangle. He'll drop it back for Terry. Canceled by Dumoulin. And an easy clear for Kempe.
I was impressed by the defense of Dumoulin there. Use of the stick, but then also, John, when he gets the puck, he turns, he spins, and he makes a breakout pass as quick as possible.
As McTavish is checked, long shot up high, right on by Gauthier, and that is fought off by Kemper.
Now, earlier, John, you mentioned a guy who had 4 Stanley Cups. Well, this man has 4 Stanley Cups, not Darcy Kemper, but this guy right here. Ken Holland, the new general manager of the LA Kings. Detroit Red Wings did the job there. Hockey Hall of Fame as a builder. Now, Jim Rutherford's the only GM to have Stanley Cups with 2 different teams, Carolina, Pittsburgh. And we're hoping Kenny Holland can make that and join that list a little bit.
Yeah, Kenny spent last year at his home in British Columbia. He said he watched a lot of hockey every single night. He's a former goalie, of course, in the NHL. Ken and his wife, 4 kids, and they have 10 grandkids under the age of 10. So when they all visit at the same time, I'm sure that it is rather hectic in the Holland household.
You got that right.
Can you imagine 10 grandkids under 10?
Wow.
Shot right on. Dostal makes the save, and we get a whistle.
Ken told a story in training camp when he was talking to the entire King staff, just to kind of get to know him. He told a story about when he was growing up, he was working in an ice cream shop. Now, I would have loved to have known him then, because he had full access to ice cream 24 hours a day. I would have been his best friend, I think.
Yeah, I've gotten to know you a little better in the last couple of weeks, and I do know you love your ice cream, your pregame ice cream.
It wouldn't be out of, character, John, for you to get me a bowl before the game starts. Just put it,
Did Nick and Bob do that for you?
Oh, it was mandatory.
Mandatory, okay.
Yeah.
That's turned over now. Doughty in possession for Los Angeles.
Thought you were going to have it easy, huh?
Fiala darts in. Doughty, tough angle. Right in front, no one home for LA.
QB is down, he's hurt.
Uh-oh.
He got a stick, I think, where he didn't want one to go.
Right back on his skates. That is great to see, and in some difficulty.
Is it a hand? Oh, something. Well, midsection. Comes in. Bang, yeah.
For slashing.
That's what I thought. So there's the slash.
He has his left glove off, and he goes right to the Kings locker room. That is...
I think he's more concerned with other elements of the human anatomy.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
he grabbed the midsection.
Yes, he did. And you can see it there. It wasn't a real poke or anything, but the stick was jammed in there, and when that happens, the stick doesn't move, the body doesn't move. And I'm going to make the assumption he's going to be okay, but I still want Anaheim to pay for that here, with Byfield going right to the room.
And the Kings go to the power play. They're 2 for 2. 5 shots.
Trevor Moore gets the extra shift with Byfield in the room.
Here's Kempe. Right in front. Shot wide by Moore. Handed back to the line again. Kopitar. Now Kempe, goal line. Kuzmenko stick handles. Looks in front. Nobody's in front. Kuzmenko again. Right in front. And Kempe was there. And that was the play they were looking for, and a stop by Dostal.
Another example there of Kuzmenko when he has the puck. If he's not stopped. He's either stick handling, moving one way, lean one way or the other. He's always keeping you guessing.
Here comes Fiala back in for Los Angeles. 1:10 to go in the power play. Kuzmenko, great pass. Fiala wide open, right in front. And Kopitar was there, but couldn't tip it in behind Dostal.
One too many passes in hindsight.
And now Fiala again, 2 men below the line. Kuzmenko a drive. And that's off the stick of Dostal. Fiala. Kopitar, Fiala, right in front, jam play, kept up by the Czech-born goaltender, and the Ducks clear it down the ice.
The Kings are taking the lead in the NHL in those types of plays. The use of behind the net when you have the man advantage.
Obviously, I'm new to this spot here. Did they do that a lot last year, Jim?
When Kuzmenko joined, that's one of the things that changed.
Now Fogle and Clark from a tough angle. Armia in front. Now Armia trying to get it free. He does. Deneau handed back. Clark on to Doughty. And that shot off legs in front. And that's drilled all the way down the ice by the Ducks.
Another example of dress rehearsal right here. The secondary units on power plays. Guys that wouldn't normally be there. Armia, Moore on the first. So with guys out right now with Byfield, things going on, you're just trying to show the coach that maybe if during the regular season something has to change, you're ready for it.
So the Ducks have killed it off. LA now 2 for 3. Seneca, wrist shot, blocked. Rebound shot just wide by Gauthier. Byfield, by the way, is back on the bench. That is great to see. And a shot up high by Zellweger.
Malott without a stick here, so when it goes to that far point, it's tough for the Kings to gain control.
Now the Ducks set up, Paling back for Gudas. And there's Malott, no twig. You're almost helpless, as you know. One-timer, tip wide by Gauthier. Kings can't get it out. Now Zellweger, give and go. Shot right on, stopped by Kemper. Good read there by the veteran goaltender from Saskatoon. And now Malott can get off.
Yeah, the Ducks make a miscue on the pass there, and it was even more important because the Kings were tired and they had Malott without a stick.
Good stick there at center by Byfield. Creates this chance. Armia shoots it. And a stop by Dostal. 6:08 gone in the second. Kings leading the Ducks 3-0.
More so because he's a right-hand shot. You're going to stop here because he's a right-hand shot. Stick is accessible. Makes that lane a little bit easy. Moves back and forth. You keep going. There's the easy pass. Doesn't work that time, but it ends up coming back to him. And because he's a right-hand shot, he's able to get that stick in a position where the lane opens up. Stop it again. There's the lane situation. Good position. Always facing, looking in front. So he has the opportunity to pass or shoot.
And last year, the Ducks off the face-off lose it, and Byfield in there with Armia, and that was a great scoring chance. I was about to say last year the Ducks had the 4th worst penalty killing in the league, and they have been burned tonight by 2 Kings power play goals. Or rather today. I knew I'd make that mistake at one point.
Cha-ching! Patrick is collecting.
And Dumoulin. Armia back for Dumoulin. Fiala trying to wiggle free. Gets free. Dumoulin leaves it. Great passing. Nifty move by Fiala in front. Give and go. Fiala, one-timer, and he ripped that high off the glass. And again, Dumoulin spinning. Ceci down low. Great puck possession by Los Angeles. And now Mityukov, the Russian. That's off the boards and down. Edvinsson makes a savvy play, lets it go, and that's an icing call.
And one of the newest Kings, of course, Brian Dumoulin. I saw this earlier in the defensive zone. Watch this good use of body position. Lean right there. Look, now he separates the man from the puck, but at the same time, watch when he turns and spins. When he turns and spins, he makes a play very quickly. I noticed that in the first period. There it is to Fiala. So he not only makes the play defensively or separating the man from the puck, he has his head up very quickly to make the next play.
Of course, last year Dumoulin played 61 games with Ducks, dealt at the deadline in New Jersey where he played in 9 games, and with all their injuries down the stretch in the playoffs, he played a lot in that first round series for the Devils.
And that'll be one of the... It was interesting, John, when I heard Brian talk, first of all, when he first joined the Kings, he says, I'm a structure type of player. I like to have that system, and the Kings are known for that. They're not known, the Kings, for, freewheeling, and they're just known for playing with, and Brian Dumoulin might be the fit that the Kings are looking for back on the blue line because it fits his game to be very, very detailed and structured.
And he's a former Cup winner with Pittsburgh, so he has that winning pedigree. Winning Cups in 16 and 17. Here's Foegele on the faceoff. He has a power play goal tonight. Had only 1 power play goal last year. That was against the Sharks. Shot tough angle by Moore. Kept out by Dostal. Now Moore again. Deneau. Here's Clark. Trying to get through. That was turned away, and then Clark sends it well wide. And then played by Granlund off the boards and out. Here come the Kings again. And now Moore in there with Foegele. And the Kings reloading. Deneau for Foegele. In front, Moore was in that slot. But Jim, compared to Thursday in Utah, the Kings' execution, their passing, they have been very clean tonight.
You're exactly right, John, and they're spending way more time in the offensive zone.
And here they are again, right in front, Kuzmenko. Shot rejected and handled by Lacombe.
If there's one thing the Ducks would want to do right here is just get the puck deep and spend some time on the forecheck, because that really has not happened at all, especially here in the second.
And now a 2-on-1 led by Kopitar. Kuzmenko, Kopitar to Doughty. Back in front of Kuzmenko. Would have had a wide open net, but a King or a Duck player tipped it away at the last second. Some great passing, but the Kings can't convert.
I mentioned earlier one too many passes. I felt that happened earlier. Not that time there, because Doughty really didn't have a quality chance to shoot because it was on the angle. And I think that's led into the decision to try to make one more pass for an empty net.
As we approach the midway point in this game, shots 19-7 Los Angeles. Kings goal from Byfield, Deneau, and Fogle, all in the first period. 2 on the power play. Now Mityukov. Seneca overskates it, checked, and Turcotte will play it back for Anderson.
After the first, I mentioned I expected the Ducks to throw a little bit more. Now the Kings have not allowed that here. There's so many times when you get a 3-0 lead, for whatever reason, you back off and the other team gets it going. The Kings have not allowed that to happen today.
That is nudged in deep by Helenius. As he goes into the forecheck. Ceci, good read there. He'll send it around, but that is lifted out by Hellison back into Kings ice. And that's an icing call.
Well, the Kings had that opportunity, John, you were talking about on the attack. The Kings used the boards to get out. Safe play to get out. Look at Doughty. He's trying to get open. And when he gets it here, he was sliding to his right. We'll get another look at it. When Doughty gets it here, maybe he can shoot. No, he spotted Dostal, the goaltender, in good position. I think that's the reason he tried to make the next pass. Maybe you think shot and rebound, but
here's Dumoulin, shoots it. Tipped in front. Now Fiala in the goal crease. Rebound is loose. Byfield had a poke at it. Then stopped by Dostal. And now Mityukov for Gauthier. Of course, picked up in a deal last year for Jamie Drysdale. Armia stripped of the puck. And then Dumoulin follows up. Here's Byfield after leaving for maybe a minute or so. Good to see him back, and he puts the puck out of play. And we get a stoppage just past the midway point of this matinee in LA. Kings lead 3-0.
the captain finds a way to get the puck in once. No big deal. Shoot it here, Kopi. Oh, maybe twice. But then you get an empty net. But you have to be patient sometimes. Oh, yeah, there it is. 3 goals. Opening that hat trick.
And Fidelity Wealth Management is counting down the days to opening night again, Tuesday, October 7th. Kings part of a triple header again, hosting Nathan MacKinnon and the Colorado Avalanche. It's tough to say. It's his last opening night, Jim.
Yeah.
What a career. He will go straight to the Hockey Hall of Fame, as we know. Now Troy Terry. Worked over by Armia, but maybe too aggressively in a holding minor.
Yeah, the turn, the spin, the back, the forth. And the first time in today's game, Anaheim will get the opportunity with a man advantage. Armia's had a pretty good presence in this game. We'll see if the free hand becomes
Los Angeles,
issue.
number 40, minor penalty holding.
Oh, that's what the ref saw there. There wasn't much. Wasn't much at all. Joel used his skates a lot there on that play. Yeah, it was not the free hand that was guilty of, I'm going to call the hold because that's what the referee said, but a lot of times when it's the free hand, it's more visual. It's easier to see. That one there a little bit more disguised, but the referee felt too much. Power play, Anaheim.
Ducks' first power play today. Last year, they were last in the league on the power play at 11.8%. And that's got to improve if they want to get back in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Terry now Down low for Granlund. And back for Lacombe, playing his off point here. Looking for Carlson, who's been rather quiet today. Kings break it up and lofted down by Moore.
If you're Joel Quenneville joining Anaheim, it's probably a good thing that last year the rankings were the way they were on the penalty kill and the power play, because there's basically only one way to go, and that's up.
Now Carlson darts in, leaves it Kreider. And then Granlund right in front, tipped wide by Carlson. Again, Kreider has been a monster on the power play in his career. You know that he is going to score some power play goals for the Ducks.
Because of where he goes, John, to the front of the net with a big body, even if he doesn't get it, someone else gets a loose puck, those types of things. They want to take advantage of that experience.
Shot by Gauthier. And a good stop there by Kemper. Kings can't clear it out. Now the Ducks set up. And Strome with it. As Fogle goes down, Fangio no call. And then McTavish on the wall. Under pressure, and Byfield swings and misses on the clear. Now center. Gauthier gets it. Loose puck. Backhander. Stopped by Kemper. And now Zellweger with 25 to go in the power play. Here's McTavish. And then Kreider held up a bit by Ceci. Ducks look to center. And a great stick there by the veteran Ceci. And kept in by Zellweger. Strome. Gauthier right on. Stopped by Kemper. And it goes off his stick and out of play.
Now, if you're going to allow a shot from the middle of the ice, you want it to come from that far out. And Darcy Kemper, again, off a Vezina Trophy finalist last year. And we mentioned it, John, in the first game we did the other night from Salt Lake City. I think it means more to goaltenders nowadays, because that award is voted on by the general managers. And basically their criteria is, if you had a goaltender to win you a game, who would it be? And, you know, it fit in with the Kings system last year in Darcy Kemper, but, man, his numbers were through the roof.
And remember, he was hurt early and had an outstanding season. Of course, a former Cup winner in Colorado back in 22. Kings have killed it off. Doughty in tight. Ducks had 2 shots on that power play. There's Kopitar trying to pry it free. That's lifted ahead. And Ross Johnston, their tough winger, gets it in behind the LA goal. Now played back for Trouba, who can shoot it. He does. And maybe off Johnston in front. Never got on goal. Paling canceled. And then Seneca stripped of the puck by Kuzmenko. Here comes Kempe now. And drilled around by Kuzmenko. And I think that was offside. It was on a delayed call.
Yeah, the puck was on the blue line, but it never made its way over, and they could try to figure a way to make it happen.
Well, the Kings and Blake Bolden are proud to announce the return of Black, Silver, and Bold, a free monthly development program fostering community for underrepresented elite youth hockey players and their families in LA. Learn more and register today at lakings.com/bold. Always great to see the young kids get involved with this great game, Jim, as you know.
It is an opportunity to build that team skills. Understanding that, you know, some players are a little bit better as far as skill, but that does not mean you cannot be effective. Learn to play together as a team.
Stolen there, Turcotte in front, and Malott with a great chance. Remember, Malott has 2 goals in the preseason. That was tipped high off the glass, and the Ducks on the counter, and that was dumped in off icing rather against Anaheim with 5:52 to go.
Jeff Malott did a good job getting his hips turned and spinned around so he could get a good leverage point. Right here, he gets it. He has to turn. He's actually off of his feet, meaning neither of his skates are on the ice when he lets this one go, because he had to try to find a way to get some leverage. And of course, it doesn't look as dangerous from that view because it's well over top of the net, but right down the middle can always be dangerous.
Yeah, if that Duck player doesn't get a stick on it, that's a grade A chance. Face-off one for Anderson. Now Malott in tight quarters. 2 Ducks around him. Doughty, Anderson, lines and fires it. And tipped off a stick and wide. Now Malott again. Turcotte and Helenius in front. To the back for Doughty. Anderson shoots it right on. And again, there's Helenius in front, who goes 6-6. He can provide a screen, can't he? Still 3-0 Kings.
Spacing, move it around, open it up. Watch this pass here. It goes underneath the stick of a Duck trying to kill it. Again, the knuckleball change up works. Kings move it around again. Front net presence. John's been talking about that all game. A couple of whacks by Danault, finally right under the crossbar. Another power play, high to low, across. Dostal could not get his pad and skate jammed against the post. It was there, but it wasn't strong enough. The Kings have a 3-0 lead.
And they have really made life tough today for Dostal. Jamming the net, going to the net, getting some bounces, and that's what you got to do to score in the NHL. By the way, last year in the NHL, teams averaged 6.1 goals a game last year. And Jim, that's the 4th straight year that clubs have combined to score at least 6 goals a game. So scoring is up in the NHL, which I think is a good thing unless you're a goaltender. And as a former forward, I'm sure you agree.
I never really saw my own goaltender during games, John.
Okay.
I had a difficult time making it over the red line.
But you did like him, I'm sure.
He was very nice. Very nice guys. Yeah.
Now Kopitar for Ceci. Wine shoots it. Stopped. Rebound in front. Good save there by Dostal. And now Gudas back of the cage. And Jackson Lacombe. That's tip, no icing. And now Ceci throws it off a stick into Ducks ice. Armia comes in. He's played a strong game. He's had 4 shot attempts, but unfortunately for him, none have reached the net. He's been around the net all day.
I agree with you, John. I think he's done a lot of good things. And the other night in Salt Lake, we saw his defensive play with his stick, smart with his stick.
And then Fiala twisting and turning, great edge work, but forced to center by Gauthier.
That's the type of play that Kevin, last year he took that out of his game, and it's a good thing. He gets too risky there. He puts guys on their heels, so I know it's preseason, and maybe we'll chat with him about that. Make sure, don't, in that area right near the blue line, so many bad things can happen.
Well, especially when you have your other teammates in the zone. You know, you want to keep the puck in the zone at the very least, and that goes out of play. Under 4 left here.
Yeah, when you're skating back towards your own net, it's putting everyone in a position where they don't necessarily know what's going to happen. McKinnon, he's done the job. Vegas considered maybe top to bottom. One of the best, if not the best. Jonathan Taves is back. $100 Bill Kirill. Sydney. Ehlers now in Carolina. That's all they needed, was another guy can fly.
And you didn't mention Marner in Vegas. That was a huge ad for the Golden Knights.
Yes. Oh, 100-point guy.
Yeah, he's a pretty good player. Part of the core 4. No more of the core 4 in Toronto. Here's Zellweger. Clark stands up. Terry rather forced to dump it in. Edmondson fights off a forecheck. And winds it around. Zellweger there. And right back to Edmondson. Now Kempe comes in. Trying to drop it off. Now hooks one low for Kopitar. Checked and picked up by Leo Carlson, who is just 20 years old at 20 goals last year. He is the future up front. Former 2nd overall pick. And the pass to center ice. Kuzmenko. Run to the ditch there by Mitnyakov. And then played off the boards to the King line. Now Malott trying to muscle in. And it'll force it in tight. Yeah, look out. Yeah, Helenius got the stick there around the arms or around the body, and that will be called 99% of the time.
Well, you can see it from up here. It's usually an opportunity for the referee down on the ice to make the call, and that's exactly what happened. You'll see Helenius, he's trying to get the right angle. From this point on, he's behind. And when
Los
you're behind,
Angeles 79, 2 minutes hold.
You're going to go to the box. Unfortunately, Sammy could not get that inside position enough. He's being kind of interfered with there by Johnson, but at the same time, at the end, the use of the arms and the stick. That's the second time in this period the Kings get a hold against them. Both the similar ways where it's not the free hand, it's the stick hand, but holding nonetheless.
Ducks 0 for 1, 2 shots on their only power play. Great chance here. And flipped right in front by Seneca. He could have shot that puck. Now kept in by Zellweger. And now Seneca again. Kings get it, they clear it down the ice. Last year with Oshawa in the American League, Seneca, or the Ontario League, pardon me, had 36 goals. So one of their good young players. Picked 3rd overall. And the Kings killing some more time. Now Killorn ahead for Gauthier. Checked by Byfield, cleared down by Dumoulin. And nothing shaking so far in this Ducks power play. As Troy Terry tries to burst in there. Dumoulin and Armia down low, kept in Lacombe. And then McTavish. Terry there, hit by the big body of Dumoulin, off somebody toward the goal. Now Edmondson races after it. And he was hit hard. Didn't like the hit from McTavish. And now Edmondson back on McTavish. Kings get it, and Armia will lift it down the ice.
Just no time there for Anaheim, and that's credit to the Kings. Understanding when a player has the puck with total possession, or when it's bobbled. When it's bobbled, you're on him.
And you gotta love that pairing on defense of Dumoulin and Edmondson. The reach of both of those guys killing penalties.
That's the game nowadays.
Yep.
It's long-rangey defensemen. It's long versus strong. It used to be you had to be strong. Now you still want the strength, but if you can take away time and space with a long reach, that's where the NHL's going.
Granlund checked there by Moore. 3 to go in the power play. 35 left in the period. So a great kill by Los Angeles. No shots against. And Hellenius is back. And the Ducks are 0 for 2 today. And Carlson carries the mail to center. Met there by Kopitar. And Dumoulin as time winds down. That's off Kempe, grabbed by Strome. And the long dump in. A scoreless second period here in LA. Kings still leading 3-0.
Now, John, the Kings have been throwing around the phrase killer instinct because of what happened last year and not closing out games. The Kings did not add to their total. That was much, much better. They were on top of Anaheim. 9 shots total after 2 periods of play for Anaheim.
You've only seen him a couple of games, but you can tell, Jim, that he's a very smart veteran defenseman.
He's talked about structure, but in that second period specifically, his body position was excellent. You know, you separate the man from the puck, but then what he carried it on with was quick decisions. So the Kings are trying to shut things down in the defensive zone. Dumoulin ended up in the corner, and watch here. He goes down one-on-one, watch the body position. Right here, there's separation of the puck. And from the puck, then all of a sudden the quick decision, he turns and spins and you go the other way. So not only the first play, the second play. We saw this earlier. Same situation. Lean in, boom. And then when he gets it, he's able to make a very quick decision. Not much great on the stick of Fiala. So both offensively, defensively, you not only make that first play, but you make the second play to keep the puck alive and get it going.
A 2-time Stanley Cup champion. Signed in the offseason by Ken Holland. And one thing that Mr. Holland mentioned to us a few weeks ago, you know, in his moves, he wanted to get bigger, more experienced, and guys with a winning pedigree. And he certainly has done that with the likes of Dumoulin, Ceci, and of course the injured Corey Perry. So ready for the third period.
Woo! Look at Brian. He's going, baby, with that pellet salts.
Underway. Ducks come in quickly. Kings goals today from Byfield, Deneau, and Foegele, all in the first period. Now Moore on the wall, checked. And then Doughty there. Number 20, Chris Kreider. Gets it in front. Backhander scooped up by Kemper on that shot by Kreider.
In regular season, you're more concerned, but here, this would be one of those 60-minute games that the Kings can really keep control here in the third. In the second, and we mentioned killer instinct, so they didn't add to the score, but the one thing they didn't do, they didn't just back off and play defense. They kept the puck for the most part in the offensive zone.
Shot tipped on goal. Not sure if it hit Anderson or Kemper. And then Foegele ahead. Yeah, they have allowed the Ducks only 9 shots on goal through 2. Don't need to tell you, but that is superb. Anderson off the wall for Deneau. Games will be off tomorrow and then practice Monday, getting ready for Tuesday's season opener against the Avalanche. Now Kuzmenko rolls off a check for Kempe. Fires it right on. And a stop by Dostal.
So Adrian Kempe still without a contract, as will be on the mind of many people here coming right at you. The Kings have done that quite a bit. A lot of teams do. You have the one long stretch pass, then you have a bunt back to the guy coming with speed. The Ducks, you see that, handle that correctly. Gudas puts Kempe on the outside on the angle. If you allow a shot, goaltender should make the save.
Kopitar against Strome on the draw. And the Ducks in possession. And Frank Vatrano darts in. Edmondson there lost his stick. And now Vatrano in front. A man was there, but that failed to click. Long pass by Kopitar, looking for Kempe. And then Gudas knocks it away. Centered. Oh, Kempe got it in front for Kopitar, but he steered it just wide. Or rather, Kuzmenko with that pass. Clark all the way back. And then Edmondson, rather. In some traffic, centered, but Clark stayed home and banks it off the wall into Duck ice. Both teams making changes. And Helleson at the line. Fiala, good defensive play. Now a good pass to Armia, who goes wide, right in front. Tipped but kept in by Dumoulin. And then Byfield for Dumoulin, right in a shot. Centered after Dostal made that save on Dumoulin. And the Ducks flop it in. Tricky one on Kemper. And then Byfield down low. Armia away from traffic for Dumoulin. And tipped on the middle by Fiala. Played down the ice by Ceci. And again, both teams complete line changes. Ryan Poehling now away. And the Minnesota native.
That was the stick again of Malott. We saw that in the first period. He does it here in the third period. Very smart with the stick.
Anderson trying to pinch down the wall on Seneca. And a 4-player traffic jam on the boards. And a shot by Malott. Hard shot wide. Comes to Doughty. Shoots it. Rebound Turcotte and Malott are there. And it stays out.
Nice when you can say that, John, when you have multiple bodies going to the front.
And handed back now for Radko Gudas. Out of the Czech Republic, captain of these Ducks. That pass, Terry darts in with a good move. And handed back to Lacombe. Shot. Off bodies in front. Cleaned up by Edmondson. Nice play ahead. Foegele in there with Deneau. And they can't get the puck in front. And now Terry again for the Ducks. Good back check there by Trevor Moore to break it up. And this is Foegele, who hands it back to Edmondson because Foegele needed a line change there. 4 minutes gone here in the third period. And Kempe comes in. Kuzmenko with it. Trying to go back to Kempe. And that was blocked, I believe, by Helleson's stick. Kempe feeds it in front. And Kopitar, unfortunately, had 2 men around him. And now Gauthier, pass in front. McTavish in the area. And forced out high by Kopitar. Anaheim trying to get something going here, down by 3. McTavish, that was probably going wide, caught by Kemper and a whistle.
Yeah, good boxing out, good keeping the puck on the outside. We mentioned Malott earlier. He blocked the pass. This time he uses time and space with that stick. Good use of the stick. You create a situation where you're about 4 feet closer. And here it is. Turcotte one. Malott just misses there. Sammy's on the other post. So a good sign. The Kings have worked on some things this year, John. They've talked about it. We'll see if they can execute games where a different kind of mindset in front of the net. You want to get bodies there, but what you do when you get there, I think you're going to try to change things up just a little bit.
And this goes down, no icing. And Trouba trying to clear it, looking for Killorn. That was almost picked up by Byfield. And now Vetrano trying to pick his way in. Fiala. And then Byfield slowed down by Vetrano, who probably is lucky he didn't get a minor there. And then Killorn shovels it back for Jacob Trouba. And Trouba waiting. Former Jet and Ranger. Looking for new life here in Anaheim. Pass through the goal crease, no one there for the Ducks. Comes around, Gudas swings and misses. And now Turcotte for Hellenius to Malott. Off his stick. And driven around by Lacombe. And then dumped in, Kemper out, makes a good play, good read out of his net. And then Seneca, the 19-year-old, shot block, 2-on-1 for the Kings, Hellenius and Malott. To Malott, and just out of his reach on a 2-on-1 break.
Both guys are dead tired, unfortunately, for the Kings there.
And a drop pass to Carlson, that is offside. 3-0 Kings here in the third period.
The coaching staff has been keeping a close eye on him all training camp long. Jeff came in with an edge this season because Jim Hiller told him that's what he wanted to see. This is an undrafted forward, and he's taken a long road to get here with 4 seasons at Cornell, where he served as part of a tri-captain team. He grinded through the AHL, making his way through Manitoba, playing for the Moose, got 1 game with the Winnipeg Jets. And guys, he's shown so much poise, maturity. He's 29 years old. And we're seeing production as well. But Foxy, you pointed out his good stick in the defensive zone on his last shift there. Well, I got to tell you, we're getting this whole package, right? Also, a great two-way player because he was an ECAC hockey finalist for Best Defensive Forward.
There you go.
There you go, right?
That's a lot for Malott.
I see what you did there.
Very clever. And he scored last year in the American League with 23 goals. Here's a break, and Dosto comes across and stops Trevor Moore.
Yeah, Moore had the strength down low to keep it going, and he actually made a pretty good move to the backhand.
And here he is again. On that quick-up pass, Moore taken out by Helleson. Ducks can't clear it. Dumoulin, he walks in. And then for Philip Deneau. And then Ceci in front. Deneau around, Dumoulin. Deneau one-timer, and he scores! What passing, and Deneau has 2.
The use of everyone in the offensive zone. All 5 players getting involved. Defenseman. And then actually, Phil Deneau, when he takes this shot, keep in mind he's the centerman. He ends up being maybe he's the only guy, he's the closest guy to his own goal. And he just blasts it. I think with Deneau, he knew he had to shoot it right away. Because of the pass, Dumoulin gets it over to him. And he gets it right there in the crook of the arm, right at that elbow. The shoulder can't make the save, the glove can't make the save. But the passing continues to be excellent. Kings lead by 4.
Now Kempe tripped up. Referees let that go. Deneau with 2 goals in this game. The goal at 6:52 on a great feed from Dumoulin. And it's 4-0 LA. Now a pass, Kuzmenko trying to tip to the middle. That's broken up by Gauthier, who has had 4 shots on goal today. Really most of the offense for the Ducks. And now Gauthier back.
It's interesting on the shot, John. He didn't really pick the corner, Danault.
It hit the middle of the net.
But where it went over the goaltender again, it's hard for the goalie. He has to move his entire body to get his shoulder on it, or he has to get the glove up quick enough. He couldn't do both because it was right there at the elbow.
I'm also wondering if he was screened a bit as Doughty comes in there. Can't retrieve the pass. Now Vetrano, nice feed for Jackson Lacombe. And a good stick there to break it up. I think by Armia, who's played a really good two-way game. Byfield for Fiala. Toe drag. Shoots it up high. And Dostal makes that save, and a good one.
Yeah, Kevin's shown that so many times in the past, where he's able to maneuver his way around the ice, changing from the outside to the end. Keep an eye on his skates here with Fiala. Just the way he's able to drag one, come across, use an edge, lean into it. That's just elite level skill. You keep doing that, you keep doing that, you're gonna get them.
Dumoulin and Moore with the assist on the goal by Danault. Now Brent Clark. Shot. Tipped, I think, on the way through by Turcotte. Now Malott to Turcotte. And the goaltender, Dostal, got his stick over there to break it up. And the Kings reloading. Edmondson for Hellenius. And like the game on Thursday, this fourth line for the Kings, I know it's a little bit different today, but it's been very effective, Jim.
Yeah, especially making those decisions to keep the puck going north-south. Forget about the east-west. North-south, be effective.
And now Malott off the wall. 9 minutes gone in the third period. Kings have extended their lead to 4. And dropped in by Brent Clark. Now Zellweger for Terry. Missed the pass. Settled by Dumoulin. Then Danault is checked. Here come the Ducks. Shot right on by Terry. And Kemper doesn't give up a rebound. We'll catch Golic and Golic, featuring Mike Golic Sr. and Mike Golic Jr. only on FanDuel Sports Network. They're bringing the heat with bold takes, big personalities, and some of the biggest names in sports. Don't miss the action weekdays at 12 only on FanDuel Sports Network. And the Kings control the faceoff. Looking for Danault, who's looking for the hat trick today. You never know. Now Leo Carlson has been rather quiet this afternoon. Now for Kreider. Back to Gudas. Shoots him. And a stop by Kemper. That was a good low shot, and Kemper had to be alert through his screen to make the save. And moved along by Fogle. And his shot down his off wing, rejected. Zellweger ahead for Granlund. And now it's McTavish coming in for the Ducks. And then Gauthier chased way high by Doughty. McTavish in front for Granlund. He's turned the wrong way, trying to get away. Wrap chance and a save by Kemper. As he made a lot out of nothing there.
First shift, maybe the entire game, where the Ducks have actually had sustained pressure on the Kings with control of the puck. And Granlund had the best chance on the wrap.
Here's Kuzmenko for Kempe. And then Kopitar plays it back, but no King is there, and Gauthier. Soft pass blocked by Edmondson. And now Kuzmenko is forced back into Armia. Checked by Mityukov. Now Armia gets it again. And then Hellison ahead for Gauthier.
There's something wrong with here, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're going to look at that last chance about a minute ago from Granlund. It might have gone in.
Yeah, you know, the pad of Darcy Kemper wasn't necessarily there. I saw a lot of daylight from here. And that immediately went through my mind, John, was in preseason, sometimes they don't have the video review available. but it looks like they do. And because the horn goes, that means it's going to count. So it's going to come around the net.
Oh,
there you go. Yeah,
clearly
it's in. Yeah. So, yeah, right there, guys. You can see the puck, no question. Right there, completely over the line. Darcy got his skate caught way, way behind him. And that's the reason that one will count.
It was determined the puck crossed the LA goal line at 9:40. Therefore, we have an Anaheim goal.
So the wraparound will work. See Darcy's foot, it's deep in the net right there. And he can't really get it. He tries to push with this leg across, but he can't get it around. Very rarely you will see a goaltender with his pad that deep in the net. And for that reason, he couldn't kick it out to get near the goal line. And Granlund will get one for the Ducks.
The goal at 10:20. Granlund, who had 15 goals in San Jose, and then the trade to Dallas at the end of the year had 7 goals with the Stars. And he was signed as a free agent in the offseason. So it's now 4-1 as the Kings ice the puck.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, John. When I take a quick look, a quick peek at the Ducks and their forward lines, you're looking at some veteran, solid, much more depth that has not shown through today because the Kings have been real good defensively and smothering the Ducks just about any time. And again, that was the best shift the Ducks have had all game, and it ends up with a goal.
And the Kings win the faceoff. Kevin Fiala. And a good play off the boards and out. Yeah, they got some veterans like Killorn and Kreider and Granlund, but also those young kids like Carlson and Cutter Gauthier, McTavish. So they've got a pretty good mix of vets and young guys. As Kemper holds that, and we'll stay here with 9:11 left in the third.
If I'm not mistaken, Josh Schaefer told me before the game, handling the Kings' duties on radio, that 7 of the Ducks forwards had 20 goals last year. So that's, you know, that's a good balance. That's a good depth issue. It's not like anyone really went into the 40 or 50, but when you have that type of depth, I'm going by Josh's numbers. I'm not going to doubt him. So if he's wrong, he's in trouble.
He's never lied to me. I've only known him for a couple of weeks.
Exactly.
But now the Ducks shoot it in tight. Looking to get the forecheck going. Poehling played in Philly last year. Picked up by Clark and hoisted back out. McTavish and Lacombe get the assist on that wraparound goal by Granlund. That cuts the lead to 4-1. Now Carlson. Back pass there. Scooped up by Hellenius. And he attacks. But Kreider back to break it up. Now Terry for Carlson, and Malott with a good back check. Good determined play by Malott to break up that rush. Oh, Dumoulin goes down. Really fell over the stick of Gudas. As Carlson cuts in, shoots, and he scores! What a play by Carlson, the 20-year-old. Makes it 4-2.
Yeah, to maintain that focus through 60. Again, the Kings have not been able to do it, but attacking on his off wing. Watch Carlson here. He has kind of a choppy step coming up here, but watch him get outside, inside. And once he moves the puck to the middle, very quickly on the release, he used his legs to block the long reach of Hellenius. We'll see Sammy trying to get in position. Watch him lean right there. The leg actually gets the stick, and then Sammy's trying to get the stick on puck, but he can't do so. And the Ducks back within 2.
We saw Dumoulin coming in a little late there. I wonder, were the Kings changing their Jim? I'm not sure.
Yeah, they had enough time to put the attack where they wanted to, being the Kings. So, yeah, there was a little bit of a hesitation there between the defenseman and the forward. We get another stoppage here.
So the goal by Carlson makes it interesting.
Yeah.
That's it to 4-2.
right here. Imagine if you're Dostal right here. Well, watch this. You know, you got a guy right in front of you. It's going to be hard to follow the puck where it's going, and that's what ends up being a big determining factor on the goal. You know, it takes a while before it gets there. Back once, and then as soon as he shuffles, and as you mentioned, Johnny, he wasn't necessarily screened, but he was uncomfortable. It's almost like he was trying to protect himself, being Dostal, the goaltender. He was always trying not to get hit on the play. And because of that, the high shot, it goes in. The Kings had the 4-0 lead at that point. But since then, the game has changed.
Yeah, Deneau with 2 goals, had 1 multi-goal game last year. It was against Edmonton in the first round. And that goes out of play. We have the Ducks with goals from Granlund and Carlson. Less than 2 minutes apart, and it's now a 4-2 game.
Well, we'll see. They've got to finish it out. I think coaches at this point many times will shorten the bench. That probably will not be the case in a preseason game. You want to get a look at everyone.
That's lifted in by Helleson. Around for Drew Doughty. Now ahead, Deneau has Fogle ahead. On to Fogle, dropped off Anderson to Fogle. And forced wide by Helleson. Trying to bank it in front. And Philip Deneau again. Nice pass back. Doughty winds. Instead of pass for Trevor Moore. That failed to click. And lifted up by Mityukov. Settled by Fogle. So the Ducks only 9 shots through 2, 7 here in the third.
That's been the big turnaround. If there's anything the Kings would change in today's game, it's probably a little bit too much of that extra pass. You know, looking for something that's going to be perfect.
Well, Fidelity Wealth Management counting down the days to opening night in the NHL. Tuesday, October 7th, a triple header, and of course the Kings, the late game at home against McKinnon and the Avalanche.
3 more sleeps? Is that what we say?
That's what we say.
Sleep tonight, sleep Sunday night, sleep Monday night. And we're at her.
Yeah, you don't sleep well Monday night knowing that it's opening night, though. And I know the fans are excited. We're excited. And the Kings and Avalanche on Tuesday in the home opener.
I'm going to stay up all night, though.
Maybe Kopitar can duplicate what he did last year on opening night, Jim.
That would be nice.
What was that, in Buffalo, right?
In Buffalo. Yeah, the Kings started the season. They ended the preseason in Quebec City, so then they started the regular season on the East Coast.
Shot by Edmonton, tipped wide and high by Kempe. Now the Ducks counter with 4 men up the ice. Zellweger in front, tipped on goal, stopped by Kemper on the Killorn tip-in attempt. Now a bad pass, picked off, shot right on by Gudas, and covered by Darcy Kemper. And the Ducks coming on here with 5:21 to go in the third. Kings still leading 4-2.
Stoll and Stoll, yeah, the ice is tilted towards the Ducks, but let's see how the Kings finish this off. Last year, so good on home ice.
Yeah, dress rehearsal, Jim Fox said it. Well, it's one of those situations. We'll see how they come out of this game, right? It's definitely momentum has shifted to the Anaheim Ducks bench, so we'll see the Kings got to just chip pucks in, be a little more simple. This isn't a time of the game to be fancy and try some things high risk. So get back on the forecheck, get that ozone time going again. So we'll see how they do.
I like the lingo, John and Jim, about how many more sleeps until opening night. That's what the kids say, and by kids I mean like toddlers. But still, you're excited, and that's okay.
It's okay. You're right, Patrick. Thank you for that. Look forward to the post-game show with you and the former Cup winner, Jarrett Stoll. Ducks, by the way, have had the last 6 shots on goal. And, of course, have scored the last 2 goals.
I've been called a kid many times, so I have no problem with that. 3 sleeps.
Very apropos in my mind as the Kings try to clear it.
Some nights Patrick doesn't go to sleep. That's why. He's just studying game footage, video, making sure he's ready for the next game.
Absolutely. You've got to be. Always enjoy his work. As the Kings get the puck, and now Fiala. And then Doughty to the middle, off the stick of Turcotte. Here comes Terry. He breaks in a shot. And short side kept up by Kemper. And this is by far the Ducks' best period of the game. Good chance there for Troy Terry. Knocked away by Doughty and out. And now Kreider will play it back to his former Ranger teammate Trouba.
Chris Kreider mentioned, John, one of the reasons he went to Anaheim was because he felt he had a couple of buddies there already, so I'm sure that's part of his decision-making.
And Fogle at the line was checked. 3:45 left. I know it's preseason. I wonder if Joel Quenneville will pull his goalie at some point here.
Why not, right? Get the practice in situations you don't necessarily get a lot of practice in.
And a breakout now for Trevor Moore. Spinning, trying to find Deneau.
Well, Granlund did a heck of a job there on the back check. He cut Moore off at the pass. He didn't wait for the defenseman to stand up. He did his job. Took away the lane.
And then Kemper, good play off the near boards for Deneau. Now Clark as the Kings complete a change. And that bounces wide. Gudas to center, no one home for the Ducks. And then Dumoulin for Ceci. Tip by Kuzmenko for Kempe. And a hard wrist shot. That goes wide, glove side. And now it's Kopitar. Wrapped up, great pass. Kuzmenko, what a pass back to Dumoulin. And now Kopitar. You mentioned a bit earlier, Jim, maybe at times too many passes today for the Kings?
A couple times, you know. You're trying to get the feel, you're trying to make it happen. No one really cares, I think, about the stats in the preseason, except the guys that are on the bubble. So the veteran guys are going to try to make it look pretty.
Man, that was quite a pass. And now the Ducks do pull the goaltender, covered by Kemper. I was about to say that was quite a backhand pass by Kuzmenko a few minutes ago. As Kemper holds this one again. The first two Kings games are on national TV, so we are back with you next Saturday from Winnipeg at 10 a.m. The Kings against Kyle Connor and the Winnipeg Jets, a team that won the West last year, barely beat St. Louis in the first round, got knocked out in the second round.
Yeah,
but they're a solid team, and now they have Taves.
Yeah, and they had that experience, right? The playoffs, what you're going to do. He's done it 3 times with the Chicago Blackhawks, so a good team gets perhaps even better. I think Lowry, their captain, might be not available for the start of the season due to an injury, but they're still going to, man, they can fly.
They're a solid team. Yep, they're very fast and good defense as the Kings left it up. So 6 attackers here for the Ducks, down by 2 goals. And now Terry at the line. Carlson on the give and go. That was turned away. And then McTavish passed back, kept in by Lacombe. Terry checked back to the goal. And a traffic jam in behind Kemper. Comes around Lacombe. That shot kicked away by Byfield. And maybe a minor here. Armia and Byfield were in the area. And I believe it's on the Kings.
Initially, the stick was involved. I thought it was Byfield initially. Armia ends up over there. The Kings did a pretty good job double teaming the situation, but someone's going in the box. They're trying to figure out who. Unfortunately, the referee's mic does not work, so he goes with the hand signals. 2-minute penalty. And they're still trying to figure out who.
I think it's on Byfield for high sticking.
Yeah, I thought that too initially. Here it comes right here. The right up on the other side, right? Yeah, right there.
Yep.
Yeah, he reached through, he poked. Carlson takes it on the chin. Oh, we'll get a good look at it here. Yeah, this will tell the story. There it is. There's the contact. And so now you have the goaltender pulled situation, so in effect, a 2-man advantage. Now the Kings, on the other hand, they'll get a chance at the empty net without having to worry about the icing because they're shorthanded. I think these are situations, though, John, that teams want to practice. I mean, the result's not going to be a big issue in a preseason game, but this gets you down to the nitty-gritty. Armia was trying to skate over.
Yeah, he was in the box, but he was not the guilty.
There he goes.
King. It was Byfield, as we saw.
Here comes QB now.
So he goes off at 18-21. 6-on-4 advantage for the Ducks, trailing by 2 goals. So Deneau on the faceoff. Granlund wins it back for Terry. Now Lacombe fires it from distance, fought off by Kemper. Now Lacombe around, Terry with it. Granlund looked in front, everybody covered. Now Carlson looking to work in. Shoots and he scores! What a shot by Carlson off the bar and in, and it's a 4-3 game.
So now it gets real interesting. And Carlson scores from the right side. Now he scores from the left side. Both goals have to do with, though, release. But this one here, you'll see how much more time he has. And there's Kreider, right? That's what he does. He's right in front of the goaltender. Darcy would want to be out further here. It may have hit McTavish's stick. You see it kind of flutter in behind. But because you have the presence in front, the goaltender, Kemper, can't get out and cut down the angle, and that just allows more room in behind. Dostal's back in net, but I assume as soon as he has a chance, he'll come to the bench again for the extra attacker.
Well, last year in the NHL, there were 52 multi-goal third-period comebacks in the NHL. Second most in NHL history, so comebacks are in vogue in this league. At one point, the Kings had a 4-goal lead. Now it's 1. Dostal gone again for the extra man. Here's Carlson. Shoots it, they score! They've tied the game at 4 with 4 goals in a row. I don't believe it.
And you know what, John? I'm just going to... Preseason, it doesn't matter, but it brings back memories for the Kings. We mentioned killer instinct earlier, right? Last year in the playoffs, the lead the Kings had in third periods. They couldn't close games out. Doesn't mean as much now, and you see the Ducks again, traffic, get it back, keep it simple. Shooter once again, it hits a couple bodies. Whether it hits a duck, I'm not sure, but I mean, you're getting as many bodies to the front of the net as possible there.
Well, they they pointed at Kreider. I believe he tipped it. He's always been a great tipper. Not talking about restaurant tipping, but tipping the puck. And he ties the game at 19-11.
But I think, John, you can go to my point about, you know, they had a trouble finishing out games last year, and it cost them in the most important time of the season, the playoffs. Just not really, don't worry about the game result, but the same types of things happening is a concern.
Yeah, we know it's preseason, but it's not ideal, let's be honest, with a 4-goal lead. Here comes Dumoulin with 30 seconds left. Now picked up by Fogle, centers, tip back, Dumoulin to Ceci. Deneau with a one-timer, and he fanned on the shot. And it comes around now for Killorn with 15 left. Good stick by Dumoulin. Kept in front for Strome. Gets it back, shoots it, and 5 seconds left, and Kemper had to make the save.
So the obvious thing is the Kings are just confused right now. They're on their heels. They're waiting for the clock to run out. Of course, now we'll go to OT if the Ducks don't score here with the offensive zone face-off. We were told before the game there will not be the shootout that you have a lot of times in preseason games. Yeah, we had it the other night in Salt Lake, right, where the Mammoth won the game in regulation, but you went into a
5-round shootout.
Yeah, just practice.
So time runs down, and that is the end of the third period. And quite the comeback by the Ducks with 4 goals in the last 9 minutes and change.
Yeah, and you have Lacombe involved a couple times. You have Carlson involved just about every single time. And that's the difference right now at 4-4.
Back for overtime after this.
You know what? I'm not going to have much to talk about because we were so good. I mean, the Kings were good after 40. They had the lead 3-0. They shut things down in the second. Now he's going to have something to talk about with his group. Joel Quenneville's going to say, it's just preseason, but goaltender pulled a couple times, a very specialty-oriented situation, and his team has something to build on.
Yeah, the Ducks had all of 9 shots after 2. It was all Kings, but all Ducks here in the third. So we go to 3-on-3 overtime for 5 minutes. And Jim, as you know, face-offs and puck possession are critical in overtime.
Carlson's out there. He's looking for another point.
It is Byfield, Fiala, and Doughty for the Kings. Carlson, Terry, and Lacombe for the Ducks.
Lacombe will love this situation with the open ice.
He had 14 goals last year, and can he skate? Now played back for Troy Terry. Former DU Pioneer hits the line. Now the Ducks set up at the offensive end. Terry trying to twist away from Doughty and forced back out. By the way, the game-tying goal Kreider from Carlson and Lacombe. So Carlson working on a 3-point afternoon. Gauthier chopped down, and Doughty, I believe, will go for slashing.
It looked like very innocent play. And now the power play goes to the Ducks.
LA number 8, minor penalty slashing.
So stick out in front. It's over there by then. And it was on the move initially, the one-on-one move. Here we come, we'll see it here. So does he get him in the hands? Well, he got him down low. Got him into the skates, and that's the reason for Gauthier having to go down, so to speak. And Drew gets a chance to rest here, hopefully for the full 2 minutes.
So the Ducks a chance to win it. 4-on-3 power play at overtime. Now Granlund for Carlson. Back to Granlund. And they play catch. Now the Finn Granlund, goal line Kreider. Out high, tipped in front, and knocked away by Andrei Kopitar. And the Kings can't clear it out. Kept alive by Granlund to Carlson. He's got 2 today. And then Granlund drifts high. Carlson with it, shoots it, blocked by Anderson, and that hurt him. He can't get back on his skates. Now the Kings in real trouble. Another shot wide. Anderson back on his skates, but not a lot of movement there. Here's Granlund for Carlson to Troy Terry. Blocked by Edmondson. Great stick there. And now the Ducks again. Granlund waiting. Shot blocked by Anderson. And Kopitar gets a much-needed clear.
And now the Kings will change everyone. All 3.
.45 left in the power play here in overtime. Final preseason game of 2025. Ducks commit. Pass in front. And Seneca can't make the play, number 45. And then Ceci down low, gets some help from Dumoulin. All 3 Kings in the corner here. And they get it, and Dumoulin will clear it. McTavish was wide open in front as the Kings had all 3 men in the corner there, Jim.
Yeah, if he doesn't have time, if he being the guy in the corner doesn't have time to make a pass,
it's trouble.
Yeah, but that's one of those situations where it's like a blitz in football.
Right.
You take away the time of the quarterback, he can't find the open man.
And McTavish mishandles it. And Doughty is back, so a big kill by the Kings. And we go 4-on-4. The next whistle will go back to 3-on-3. No shots by the Ducks on that power play. 2 minutes left in overtime. And Kempe goes for a skate back. And now Anderson. Was Anderson the one that blocked that shot earlier, Jim?
Yeah, he took it off the inside of the leg, I think, and then it just stung him for a while, but it goes away.
Here's Byfield with some speed. And looks around. And a pass tipped by Killorn. Ducks in possession. Vetrano. Now Zellweger attacking. And scooped up and held by Kemper.
So now you get to that situation where you go back to 3-on-3, load it up. Anderson turns his body, turns out, yeah, maybe the inside of the left leg as he turns and spins. Down low, and they're just, you know, it's one of those where you, oh man, he can't even move, but then it slowly comes back. And you know what, John, I don't think the Ducks really attacked that as much as they probably should have, knowing that the mobility of Anderson was a little bit compromised in that situation.
Yeah, it really became almost a 4-on-2 at that point. And the puck is now to the left of Kemper. And the Ducks have to go back with 1:20 left in overtime. Kings, by the way, no shots on goal in over 10 minutes of this game. Terry comes in. And a good stick there to break it up by Byfield. Tried to get it ahead to Byfield. Now the Ducks play it back in their own zone. With a minute left in OT. As we continue 3-on-3. And now Zellweger. Seneca checked at the line by Doughty. Shoveled ahead for Fiala. Trying to cut to the middle. Drops it. Foegele. Fiala shoots. And he scores into the top corner. Fiala finishes it. 5-4 Kings.
Just the way you drew it up, John, right?
Make it exciting for the fans.
Yes, you know, work on those specialty situations, all that. Well, the Kings finally did get possession of the puck. And then the headman to Fiala. Everyone watches Fiala. And he just was able to wait for Foegele to help out. But when he gets back into a situation where it ends up give and go. Fiala, Foegele. And credit Fiala there, because it wasn't in his wheelhouse. The numbers are in favor of the Kings, 3-on-2, and it ends up working. You see the back checker just cannot get into that lane. And even this is the second goal tonight where the Kings really didn't hit it. It was kind of a knuckle. I'm not sure how much of a changeup it was, but it certainly was the Kings taking advantage of the speed of Fiala